Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the chat program. My name is Willoughby Caldwell St. James. Our first guest tonight is one of the finest young musicians in England. He's coming out with a new album called Memories from the Speed of Sound. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joey Ripskin. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Joey Ripskin. Joey Ripskin. Joey, yes. Of course, yes. Come, take a seat. Hello, good to see you.
Thanks
to be here with you. Now, Joey, I was wondering, memories of the speed of sound. What are you trying to recall in these memories, and how do they work through that in a speed of sound manner?
Right. Well, as we all were babies at one point or another,
yes.
we tell ourselves these stories, and our parents, they tell us these songs. Sometimes they even sing them to us. And then we grow up, and then we don't have those songs anymore. And so what I was thinking is, what were those songs? And the more I reflected in it, the more that I started to realize, they're just nursery rhymes.
Right.
Mary had a little lamb.
Right.
Whose fleece was
white as snow. White as snow.
Right. So
the itsy bitsy spider went down the water spout, and
everyone knows how that turned out.
Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Right out. And so what is it about these songs? They're so simple, but they have such complexity to them.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I might think that perhaps whole wars were fought over these songs.
Well, of course. Well, I mean, all of humanity is a rejuvenation from potentially a past war, and some of these stories, these age-old nursery rhymes, a lot of them have grim, dark backgrounds to them, as far as the itsy bitsy spider and what was the one you just mentioned?
I mentioned Mary's Little Lamb.
Mary's Little Lamb.
I mean, they don't sing it; it's not a verse. But if you read into the lyrics, you realise that they made lamb chops that very evening.
Right.
And so there's this macabre ending to every song we've learned as children. I mean, Ring Around the Rosie. I mean, gosh, that's the Black Plague.
Right. Yes, of course. Well, and it's not just the nursery rhymes. I mean, it's even the stories too. I mean, the grim fairy tales. I mean, Hansel and Gretel going to the witch's house and then being shoved in an oven and cooked.
I mean, one might think that it's our parents who tell us these stories because they want us to listen, to breathe the life of death into us as children, as the babes of our parents. And, yes, I think to one degree it is a level of control that is, laid upon us. And I think that's what led me and the guys to want to create, a new wave of these folk songs.
Of course,
these child's, tales.
Of course, and I've listened to the album. I do wonder though. With all this, with your introspection on these sort of fairy tales and these stories, and finding, like you said, perfectly worded, the macabre element to that, you seem to have a fascination with the darkness and how it juxtaposes with the light of childlike wonder and amazement and innocence, frankly. So I was just wondering, what attracts you to the opposite end of that spectrum, that you seem to be fascinated with the dark elements that, say, may corrupt one who has a freedom in the world originally as a child?
Well, I say that if Hitler had always listened to more music, then he wouldn't have really gotten himself into what he ended up. I do.
Yes.
I do. I'm one of the leading members on the party. We think that, had Hitler delve into, I guess they would have been 78s at the time. I mean, they didn't have 33
yes.
in a third.
Yes.
They're using 78.
Small records.
I mean, God, he could have realized that, maybe I need a few of these people to, help me crank this phonograph.
So you're saying if Adolf Hitler potentially put on a record that had some sort of element of darkness in it already pre-imposed, he wouldn't be. He would be exposed to it enough that he would realize that the extermination of 6 million Jewish people, as well as causing a war against Europe and destroying several cultural artifacts of the people, that he would not be doing that if he was listening to music.
Absolutely, he would not be doing it, because when you listen to this music, you realize this is a temporary thing.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people say suicide is, a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Right.
Well, I want to say that killing 6 million Jews is a very, very not temporary solution to a very age-old problem. And I think that it's one of those things that you just need to embrace.
Well, I want to go back to that statement there, because we are on the BBC and we are governed by the British Broadcasting Corporation and legislation. So I just want to make it clear: you're saying the Holocaust is like suicide is a temporary.
It's not a temporary solution. It's a finite solution.
Right.
It's in his words, he called it a final solution.
Right. Yes. And so, you would say that he should have gone further, or he should have stopped?
I say that if
you do want to make it clear to the audience that you are not.
If he had listened to the German punks of the 1930s, while he's getting into art, I mean, he wouldn't have acted out the way he acted out.
Now, what were the German punks?
There was, Alphonse de Fruto. I mean, there was Jimmy Kraftz. I mean, are you familiar with him? You're a journalist.
Not at all.
I mean, I'm in the industry, so of course, I have a little bit of a closer lens.
Right. I'm just wondering how these German punks, how they contributed to the...
Well, what I'm saying is they didn't contribute to, because, I mean, frankly, the German punks didn't exist. I mean, I just made up those names, I'm saying that if Alphonse did exist, then perhaps Hitler may have not caused the Great War.
Interesting.
Of the second time.
Now, and he wouldn't have the predisposition for hatred of other ethnicities.
Right, because he would have realized, oh my God, no, it's not the Jews that I hate, it's myself. It's myself that I have a problem with.
Right.
And if he had just been able to listen to those German punks, listen, hindsight's 2020, we have punk now, okay? And we know we're doing great because of it, right?
Right.
I mean, punk, I have to say, is the lifeblood of the UK. It's what I think is going to keep us together for the next 60, 80, 100 years.
Well, I'd say so, considering yesterday's election results of Margaret Thatcher winning the prime ministership. What is the artist's response to something so extreme?
Who? What I care about is spreading the good word of what music can do and what it could have done. I mean, what could music have done? If music had existed in the 1600s, I mean, would we have discovered America?
I think music did exist in the 1600s, as it did during Hitler's time. I don't think that music is
You think Hitler used
invention.
music? You think he used it?
Why, yes.
Using?
I think it's undeniable Hitler used music. There are plenty of German Nazi party songs and themes and overtures and propaganda pieces that were built in to the artistic structure of Germany that propelled their ability to destroy most of Europe.
Was it good music then?
Well, that's subjective, of course, but someone like Wagner, right? A great orchestral musician, had a deep hatred for the Jewish people.
And Wagner, he was 1940.
He was German.
1940s.
Well, he was, I believe, he was late 1800s, but he
really.
Now, considering you have no allegiance to any sort of side, you don't care that Margaret Thatcher.
Who?
Right, exactly.
I'm busy letting music about my pastime. I'm not focused on what's happening now.
But
does
not music have the obligation to address the problems of the present day?
I mean, sure, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, that's why I think the punk movement would have been so significant had it happened in 1930s Germany.
Right. And, but being a musician of your time, would you not say that you are in yourself a part of that movement?
Well, sure, of course. But, I mean, I'm not trying to make anyone kill anybody.
But, right.
I'm just trying to say, hey,
well, no one's
maybe
saying you have to kill
would...
anyone. You're part of the punk movement, and you are working in opposition to an establishment, yet you seem to have no clue what the establishment actually is.
I mean, I'm not trying to establish anything. I'm trying to make a presence, and I'm trying to leave swiftly. You know?
Right. I don't understand.
Well, you don't understand because you're not listening. You know, you people, I mean, the media, when we're talking about actually who's causing, you know, the deaths of 5 million, I mean, is it not the media that did it all, you know?
No, I'd say the media is the finest institution in all of England.
You would say the media is the finest institution. Yes. What, is the media for the people, you mean?
I'd say yes. We've got the cameras here. I'm broadcasting it to every house in England.
You know how many people have TVs? Now. In 1979.
In 1979?
It hasn't been widely adopted yet.
I think you should check your facts on
that. It hasn't been. It's not been widely adopted yet. And, you know, who are you speaking to? You're speaking to the rich upper class, the people who can afford TVs. So. You're not speaking to the people where it's been syndicated across the radio waves, where anyone can have a radio, anyone can have a car in the year 1979.
I disagree. You're completely eliminating the social aspect of the media, considering you can go to a pub. I mean,
oh, so now you want people intoxicated. You want people self-medicating themselves. Well, I mean, seriously, Willoughby.
You and I were just at the Rickety Spigot pub the other day, down in near the Holborn stop.
But I'm not going there to consume media. If I'm going to consume media, which I don't, I'm going to go to my own radio and I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to listen.
It's 1979 and you still use the radio.
I mean, how else am I going to get my most trusted news?
There's all of television. You could turn on the TV and it's not just news.
You know what I like about radio is that you can hear in their voice whether or not they're being honest, and that's what I like about radio. With TV, I mean, you've got a face, and it's just adding insult to injury. You know, it's a little bit too much double, hazards.
Right. So you're saying a person that you can't see and you can't even look in their eyes and understand their soul. You're saying something like that has more trust than if you turn on the television and you're confronted with. With
this charade, if you ask me. I mean, you turn on the television, where have they been the past hour? It's just been a black screen.
What do you mean?
No, I mean,
the television was off.
Yeah, the television was off, but where were the people?
What do you mean? The television was off, you turn it on and the people come.
You know what I like about the radio is that I'm never like, oh, where's the tiny people? It's like, oh no, I understand those waves are being they're being sent from a radio tower. But with people, it's just like, I think that's slavery.
So you don't understand the functionality of a television program, yet you understand the complexity of sound waves.
Oh, I understand the functionality. The functionality of a television program is to, raise awareness that nothing's happening. You know?
Raise awareness that, something is happening. I mean, you and I are talking together. We have a whole studio audience watching. There's no... I mean...
Like you lot know anything about what's really going on here.
I'll tell you what would be the situation if there was a television show and nothing was happening. Imagine if, let's say someone, 50, 60, 70 years old...
Do you have water or anything?
No. Imagine if someone 50, 60, 70 years old was sitting in their living room, inviting people over to their home and seating them down, and there's cameras all around, and the two people just talk to each other, and then they leave, right? I would consider something like that to actually be what you're talking about, where it's media promoting nothing.
I mean, that sounds way more artistic than whatever you've got going on here, Johnny.
No, I think what we're doing here right now in front of a studio audience and promoted by the British Broadcasting Corporation is, in fact, actually something going on here. It's something that
What's
we're
going on
doing.
here? Okay, what do you
It's not a
think
promotion
is
of
going
nothing.
on
I'm
here?
promoting Memories from the Speed of Sound, a new album that everyone's going to be listening to.
Yeah, everyone's going to be listening to it.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's
and
going to
we're
be
promoting-
great.
Right? And we're not promoting nothing. We're promoting your music, right?
Sure.
But say if I was some guy just sitting in my living room and then I invited a random person over and we actually talked about nothing, then that itself would be promotion of nothing.
Like I said, I agree. I like that idea.
You like that idea?
I think it's great. I think art that inspires nothing is actually the most real art you can get.
Really?
I mean, do you not agree? I mean, listen, you invite a lad to your house and you say, hey, I want you to do my laundry or something, right?
Right.
And they come.
Right.
And then you've got a show. And they're like, what is this? And then you're like, welcome to the program. And then they're like, who's seen this? And you're like, I don't know.
You're saying as if I would invite someone and then it would trip them up, right?
If you were there doing someone's
like
laundry and then all of a sudden you got cameras, microphones, you got tables, chairs, and they're all facing a wall. I mean, who's going to sit and talk like this in a house?
So you're saying that something like that has artistic value to it and something that we're doing here in front of a television studio audience is nothing? I'd say this is more valuable than that.
Oh, you would?
I would say that.
Let's show hands. Let's see it. Can we get the house
BBC.
lights up? Can we get the house lights
get the
up?
house lights up.
How many of you think this is valuable? One.
See? No. There's
Two.
Three.
Where's the third one?
There's one right. There's one.
No,
right
you're
there.
counting the same person twice.
Oh, my God.
Two people. Bring them down. You got two people who
You're
found this
making a
valuable.
mockery of this show. You're
mockery.
making a mockery of this show.
You're mocking yourself. You might as well be a bird, you damn fool. What? In all of history, if you look back, not a single person has been harmed by another person.
Do you want to play some music?
No.
You're a musician. You don't want to play music?
Do you want to interview someone?
I'd be interviewed.
All right, go do it. Do it right now.
I've
Interview
talked to you
someone.
for,
Interview me right now.
That's what I've done for the last 15, 20 minutes.
That long?
Well,
It really drags.
What do you mean it drags? You've sat here and talked to me. The audience has been watching.
I'm parched. First of all, you got no water for your guests.
No, you don't need water.
You don't need water.
I don't need it.
You just drink constantly. You're fine.
I've never drank water in my life. Actually.
How do you get H2O?
What do you mean? How do I get H2O?
How do you drink water?
I don't need it.
You don't need water.
No. Unlike a camel.
You're a camel.
Yes.
What? Tell me about this.
Right. You see, you need water to survive, right?
Yeah.
I get water through other sources, like I drink apple juice, and that's like,
I've become less interested. I thought you were onto something, but
No,
it sounds
I go
like
to
you're just drinking different.
I drink other liquids.
I thought you were
yes.
going to get into some witchcraft or something else.
I drink drinks. I don't drink water.
If you could live forever,
Yes.
would you?
Oh, you're interviewing me now.
Well, I figure someone should do it.
Right.
You're just talking about drinking apple juice and.
Margaret Thatcher was just elected prime minister, and you're making a mockery of me on your show. This show we were supposed to unravel.
My show. This is your show.
Yes, it's my show, and we were supposed to unravel.
you're getting confused. You're whoop-de-doo. What are you saying?
We were supposed to unpack the situation. We have a country that's in ruin, or
All right,
going
let's
to be
talk
in
about the
ruin.
country. No one's stopping you from talking about a country. You want to talk about a country? Let's do it.
England's future. We don't have a future.
England, that's a good country right there. Not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Margaret Thatcher is prime minister, we're in big trouble. Not only that, but Ireland is going to be in a tizzy, and then they're going to start causing problems with us.
Why is Ireland going to be in a tizzy?
What do you mean, why is Ireland going to be in a tizzy?
They're not even touching us.
We've essentially colonized them.
Have we?
Yes.
Too bad. I don't really agree with that. But I gotta say, it's good that they haven't
But that's
killed
what we're
anybody.
talking about.
It's
That's what
good that they haven't killed a single person in doing so. You know, that's the good
Do you
thing.
understand that there's people there that are going to? They're going to kill. They're going to kill somebody.
Who? This is not, you're not
Maybe
getting...
Margaret Thatcher.
I mean, listen, no one actually cares about the other person, you know? Everyone's just all talk, everyone's big talk. This Margaret Thatcher person, she's just a big talker. She doesn't care, you don't care, I don't care. I mean, they don't care. Even the people that think it's valuable do not. No, you fucking don't. You don't care. All right, you're gonna be doing this show in your fucking room for the next 30 years because
I'm not
frankly,
going to be
this
doing
is
it in my room. I'm going to be doing it in a live
Am I right that this is
going to
get him fired? Am I right that he's? Yeah, you're done. I mean, this is a live program, you fucking idiot, and you've had me on. I mean, do you know that this is what I do? Have you done your research?
What do you mean this is what you do?
I go on programs. I told you I hate television. I go on people's program, and I'm in my feet. You know, people think I'm like this crunchy individual. No, I just want you to have bad ratings.
You make a mockery of me on my show.
Yeah.
I've never had someone do something so disastrous, so disgusting to me.
Okay, sure.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
This
It's
is foolish.
funny.
Put your feet out. It's disgusting. It's in my shop too.
Is it?
It's nasty. Get it out of here. Get it out. Just get it out. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Horrific. Absolutely horrific.
So this is how you deal with it. You're not even going to try to save your show. You're just accepting it.
You're ruining yourself.
I'm already ruined. I got no image that I care about. I mean, my family hasn't talked to me for years. If I went missing, no one would care.
You really believe that?
Well, no one cares if I live.
That's not
people
true.
should care all of a sudden because they're dead? If anything, you should care less.
No, you... You know what the problem is with you, Joey? Can I call you Joseph, by the way?
Sure.
Joseph! You know what my problem is with you? You don't know... You don't know when to call it. You don't know when to just stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
You don't know.
Nope.
Your lack of regard for your image, I find it quite disturbing.
Hey, listen, I'll give each of you £1,000 if you leave this show right now.
You're
If you
not
walk
going to-
out,
you
if you
can't
walk out
give
of
them
this show,
£1,000. You
I will
don't
give
have-
you. I believe.
You don't have that much money from your album record sales.
You don't think Memories from the Speed of Sound is already going to go platinum?
What do you mean?
It's promised to go platinum. I mean, I've got record deals
so you're
with
just
everyone.
£1,000.
Look, there you go. There's one.
Everyone in this audience.
I'll catch you outside.
No way. You can't leave.
And those are the same people. That's the
You
same
can't
people who
leave.
find this valuable. See,
No.
they find multiple things valuable.
No.
Oh, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's a big group. That's a big
No.
group. They're all getting up.
You've taken the audience out.
No, you got. No, you're leaving. 1, 2, 3. Are you staying? What?
Stay, please.
Is 1,000 not enough?
Please.
What you want? 2?
Don't give
all
them
right.
2,000.
Okay. That was your last person. We are in empty stage, live for all to see.
Am I no better than Margaret Thatcher?
Who?
My name is Willoughby Cornwell St. James III. That's our show. Good night. Drat! Foiled again! It seems gig workers don't want to be interviewed by the finest interviewer in all of America, forced to do public programming for Austin, Texas. Disgusting. Instead of that wonderful BBC network that banished me to America. What a shame. Well, that's the chat program. Good night. Joseph, dim the lights. Perfect. Okay, now bring them back up. All right, Joseph, let's clean this up. Come on now. Joseph! Joseph! Stop blinking the lights, damn it! Joseph! Joseph! Stop it! Joseph, answer me! Stop it! What are you doing in front of the cameras, Joseph? Joseph! Rats!